Lately back with another video, and today's video is going to be an update from my journey with the 2017 Burning Bowl. Back in January, I attended the Bowl and wrote my letter of things I wanted for 2017. And then from there on, I gave the 6-month recap at the month of July, but it was a lot of things going on that I was waiting for an outcome with, so I did not, I chose to delay the video, and I was hoping for some things to take place, but they didn't take place. So I can just give you some updates and everything about where I'm at. So, attended the Bowling Bowl back on Friday, January 6, 2017. I submitted my letter of, I thank you letter to God of what I wanted to, well, I seen my life for the year and things I wanted to accomplish. I also submitted my list of things I did not want to, a list of things I wanted to get rid of in 2017, and that burnt up in the, the barbecue grills, the pits. So when I wrote my letter, I broke it down into categories, several categories: love, wealth, career, health and wellness, family, friends, sorors. Updates in terms of, I won't read the letter because I feel like that's kind of personal and that's sacred between me and God. But I will give you updates on each category. So in the form of love, to date, I am currently still not in a relationship. And thus far, this is September, I have not been on one date in 2017. What has taken place, though, God is really revealing to me like things I don't want in men. I've been asked out. I was asked out once, but the guy turned out to be cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. And then I thought I may, reopen a door. That didn't work out. A guy who I had interest in I had interest in the past, end up discovering that he was expecting a kid by somebody who I know very well. So that went out the window. So, yeah. So I've been doing a lot of prayers and reflection and listening to and participating in the group called Mary and Young. I want to say it was founded by Jamal and Natasha Miller. And I want to say Monica Uma is a part of it as well. So they had like the online singles conference. I bought into that and attended that online. They've been having a lot of webinars, seminar things. And then we did 5 days, Pray for Your Future Spouse. I participated in that challenge. And I just really think it's fine-tuning what I wanted to make, what I don't want to make. But as I tell people, my problem is I have not ran into people who I would consider, I haven't like been in an atmosphere where there was a bunch of potential guys. The circles I do run into end up being like a lot of broken men or men who are married or divorced men and just men that really not ready for a serious relationship, or at least not ready for a serious relationship with me. So, for example, just running into a bunch of crazy situations. So it's this guy who I went to college with. We met up back, I ran into him like at a festival back in, I want to say 2010. And we exchanged numbers, and he was like, we never kicked it, we never hang out. So I was like, oh, maybe this we can go out, we can get to know each other and see if something take place. So what happened was we, did some phone conversations, but he never took me out. But he wanted to get down with the get down. Okay, he wanted to have sex, but he didn't want to take me out. And I was just like, no, that's not my cup of tea. And in which shortly after that, I end up, meeting a guy who would, be my boyfriend for the next 11 months, which that burnt up into disaster. I saw him again back in July. We was at another festival, a little black party, and he was on the exact same stuff. I mean, here we are. We didn't jump off because I wasn't that girl. I just didn't want to hop in the bed and all that type of stuff, So that was 2010. Fast forward to 7 years later, he still was on the same stuff. And I'm looking at him like, I'm not on that. I'm looking for something more than casual. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship that will eventually progress to marriage. I want to get married. I want to have a family. I don't want to play games. We're too old to play games because I'm about to be 37, you guys. And I know he had to be 37, 38. So we're both at that age that it's just really time out for games. And no, he has never been married. I think he has a child. He has a son, but never been married. So it's just like he was on the same dirt. And I'm like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. So, yeah. Nothing's jumping off. Am I still hopeful? Absolutely. I mean, the 2017 is still not over. It is September. Anything can happen. You can pretty much meet the love of your life anywhere. So I'm just hopeful and grateful. And some people told me I should get into speed dating. Some people told me to go on the apps. I did start back looking on the app. I won't say what app I'm on. But it's just really slow motion. I mean, I don't really feel like I can take these guys serious on the app because they'd be like, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, this. Oh, what's popping? It's like, that's how you talk to people. Oh, what's popping? Oh, you cute. What's up? That's how you come to somebody. So I'm really just not feeling how these men on these dating websites are approaching. You don't say, hey, what's popping? Hell, my name is. I would like to get to know you. Can we start out emailing or phone calling or something? More than just like, hey, mama, what's popping? And then there's people out here like, I got 3 kids. I got 5 kids. I'm really not. I'll take 1, at most 2. But you got 3 and 5 kids. We really don't have nothing to talk about. We really don't. I'm sorry if I seem like I'm just anti too many kids, but I am because I know I want, to experience motherhood. And a guy who has a tribe of kids more than likely is not going to be wanting any additional kids. So, yeah. So, love, still optimistic. We still got a few more months in 2017, so we'll see how it goes. In terms of wealth, doing much better with my money this year. I did, I've been using spreadsheets and checklists and budgets, and for the most part, it has worked. Anything I pretty much budgeted for or saved up to did, I pretty much did. I, paid, still working on the debt. Debt's still there, but it's working. It's progressing. I can see myself paying off another student loan in maybe the next 5 months, maybe sooner. 5 to 6 months. I said I'm going to give myself 6 months, but I can see myself, I see the potential of being able to pay off another student loan, perhaps another credit card. This year I did a summer fund. So that was like, when I go out and I buy a drink or have a meal or go out to festivals and kick it, I gave myself like a weekly social allowance, and it actually worked for the summer. It worked. I find myself, not really, I was keeping money in my pocket, and it worked. I had money for traveling. It just works. I went out of town twice and came back with money. Well, one trip I had just enough money. Like I had just enough only came back with a couple of bucks, but I had budgeted pretty well to get me through the whole trip. And then for my other trip, I came back with like quite a bit of money. So that was a blessing. So it's getting there. I'm learning to, just plan accordingly. And I'm understanding now once you budget your money and you plan it accordingly, it works out. Now, I did start back like buying stuff, buying it. That is something I am definitely trying to work on. Because I'm looking at, are we buying out of necessity or are we buying out of boredom? So I'm really stopping to analyze that and see what's the source of me wanting to buy things and what's the source of me just spending money or going into a store just because you was bored and don't have a date or don't have anything to do. So I am reevaluating that. So, I mean, it's a work in progress, but, we're getting there. This was the first summer I said I wasn't like completely broke. There's been some times by the time the end of the summer, my savings account has been depleted and I had to start back rebuilding. But for this was the first summer that I actually, completed the summer and still have money in my savings. And I'm still working to build. I have goals I want to accomplish financially still. Getting back on track. I signed back up to get my contributions to my 403B and all that good stuff. So I'm getting there. But we're going to move on. Career. And that one was the hardest one. I finally decided to do a hardcore job search. I think around about the month of May. I said, I'm going to go in full speed ahead, try to apply to all these, just apply. Didn't matter, was I qualified, not qualified, we're going to just apply and let the chips fall where they may. That was some advice a friend gave to me back in May. But just apply for everything. Even if you don't think you qualify for it, just apply. So with that, I did end up getting 3 job interviews. One was through a charter school. I won't name the school, won't name the who was connection, but it was a phone appointment. I thought the interview went well. I was just waiting to see if I can get an in-person. It did not happen. They was just kind of concerned about, would it be taking a step back to take that position? And for me, I didn't feel like it was taking a step back. I think it was taking a step in a different direction because it was still along the line of work I currently am doing, but the audience was just changing because it was tied to high school children. So it was the same type of quality of work, just a different audience, but I did not get to move to the second round. I end up interviewing for another charter program school, won't say that school network either, and did the phone interview. They felt like they was very impressed. She said, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to have in-person interviews. So what will happen, if you continue on with the process, which I think you will, we will go ahead and schedule you an in-person interview. I said, no, fine, no problem. All I ask is please let it be as early as possible so that way I can still come back and to work because we had orientation. So I wouldn't be able to take that whole day off. I would have to do most of the morning because a good chunk of what we was doing was towards the later part of the afternoon. No problem. So I did the phone interview. She said she supposed to had contact me the next day. And then by Wednesday, they was doing in-persons. I did not get a contact back at all. And then I would say about Thursday or Friday that week, they just said, oh, we appreciate you. We thought you was a solid candidate, but we went ahead and we hired someone. And I'm like, well, how did they hire someone if they didn't how would they hire someone? They was just doing the in-person video, in-person interviews, and they had just closed the application. The application had closed like that Friday. They called me that Monday to do an on-spot like phone phone screening interview, and then they posed they had the in-person by Wednesday, and it was just like, oh. So, of course, me having somebody connected to, that particular organization, they went and dig, and apparently there was no interviews. There was no in-person interviews. They pretty much just hired someone they knew from the inside. And I feel like that's been a challenge for me, that I'm going up against people from the inside that's already connected. There's people like just sitting and working and waiting on their moment. So that was that. Then it was like a day after all that happened, I got another call. And this is from another college. I won't say the college. And they were saying, well, we want you to interview for this position, which was like the perfect, position. A lot of the work was in line with what I was doing. It was another, school. The location was perfect. It was just going to put me like in the heart of the city, and I was just thinking about all the possibilities that can happen with this new, this new position. I was thinking about, of course, more salary, money, making more money, so a higher salary, being in the heart of the city, which more opportunities to connect with people. And, I was just saying a new atmosphere, a new fresh beginning, a new start is just going to change everything. I did the phone interview. I thought it went well. Then they called me back saying, okay, we want to invite you to on campus. I was just stoked, so excited. Oh my God, this is just, it's just that. And the thing about it, let me go back to the letter. In my letter under jobs, I wrote down a list of schools and organizations I would like to work for. And surprisingly, these interviews that I were getting were all from organizations and schools that were listed on my Burning Bowl letter. So I'm like, okay, God, this is you. This is you, because all these interviews that I'm being interviewed for are schools. I mean, I'm looking at my letter right here. All these schools and organizations are right in the letter of places I say, God, I'll be glad to work here, or I see potential here, and that was that. So went on to the on-campus interview. Was nervous as hell, but I thought I put on my best suit. I got my hair together, put on my pearls, and made sure I got there. Like, I got there 30 minutes early, and I thought I killed it. I thought I was gonna be able to be in a position to bring programs and bring ideas that they were currently not doing at their school. I knew. I actually went to school with the person who was over the department. So I thought that was like another connection. Like, we went to school, we didn't have bad blood or anything, and I was just like, okay. And then all of a sudden, I was telling people I had interviewed. Oh, I know so and so, that I can have them put your good word. Oh, I know so and so here. Then let me tell them you were interviewing. Maybe they can, So I left there, and it was like a half-day interview. Like, it was from like 10 to 12 or 10 to 1. But I left there feeling very good, very confident. I mean, we had, I thought I did very well interviewing. I looked people in the eye. We laughed. We smiled. I felt like I got to show my personality. I felt like I met the challenges of meeting all their different questions, whether it be easy or difficult. So yeah, I left there confident, and they said, give us a few weeks, we'll make a decision. Let's say those 2 weeks came and went. So I'm like, okay, so maybe the end of August, because my goal was like, oh, I would love to, start a new job by August 1st. And I said, the reason I said August 1st is, number one, wanted to get away from my current position before, school start. And number two, that's the time you want to get your new people in before the semester starts, or this school year starts, so that way they're in place and ready to roll and work with the students. So 3 weeks roll around. I have not heard anything. I'm like, wow, I interviewed for this back in early July. August 1st came and went came. So I was like, okay, let me just put an email out here and see what's going on. So I sent the appropriate email, following up, thanking them, letting them know I'm still interested in the position. Another week goes by. I didn't, the rest of that week, that was on a Monday, and then the rest of the week goes by, I hear nothing. The following week, I get an email at 10:25 at night, and it was telling me pretty much I did not get the position, and they went on with another candidate. Now, all the emails they had been sending me prior to this one had been, personal emails from a person, an individual, whether it been someone in HR or the people in the department. I was getting, direct emails, but all of a sudden, this is an automated email that goes out. And who breaks this news to a person at 10:25 p.m. at night, at a point where they're probably getting ready for bed, at a point they're getting ready to wind down, at the point where they're ready to just clear their head and go into a peaceful slumber? I was very hurt. I was very upset. You do not do that to people right before bedtime. I mean, if I would have got that, it would have been different to send it like 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock, or even 8 o'clock and give you time to process. But you had to take in that process at that point and then get up and go to work the next day like nothing happened. And I was really hurt because I thought I had it. I actually saw myself at that position. I was speaking it into existence. I was, didn't want to make further professional plans like work related, because I was like, everybody said, well, we need you to do this on this day. We need you to do this on this day. And I was putting everything in pencil because I said, I'm not going to be here. I was just really stepping out on faith. I had bought a t-shirt from the school's bookstore. I just knew I was mapping out routes that I was going to take to get to work, because it was going to require me to invest in taking public transportation. And I was just thinking out all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, I know I'm not going to probably be able to be off, anytime soon when you start a new job, because, you're building up your vacation. So I had got my mindset, well, let me enjoy whatever time I got off, because once I hit this, job, I wasn't going to be able to, take time off. So it really hurt my feelings that I didn't get the job. And yeah, it really hurt my feelings. So when I had started back doing my interviews and I was telling you I was going through things, it just didn't, go there. And I was just asking God, I'm like, what's really going on? Because I was, feeling like this was gonna be, my moment. I was, how you around everybody and they're just, you see people getting married and you see people having babies and you see all these engagements and people were just happy, and it was like, this supposed to been like my announcement. This was gonna be my big thing. This was gonna be, Lisa's news to post, and it was gonna be a celebration, and everybody was gonna honor me and celebrate me and do all this great stuff, and it didn't happen. And I'm like, okay, God, now here I am. I finally, in the past, I have applied for stuff, really didn't take no interest, didn't have a really go with it. And I'm like, here I am, like, I really, prayed about it. I went to the altar on it. I was asking people to pray for me. Everybody was like, around me, other people around me was getting like new jobs, and I'm like, okay, God is in the neighborhood, so let me get on the block and get a sprinkle of this. Girl, rub that off on me, or boy, rub that off on me, since you getting a new job. And it just did not happen. So it kind of made me upset, kind of bitter, and I just said, God, what's going on? I'm like, if you're not going to give me the husband, if you're not going to give me the kid, can you at least give me the job? What is it you trying to do? And why I can't get some of this, success and all this stuff? Why am I being withheld? Why am I being punished? Did I do something wrong? And then I was going back trying to play in my mind, could I did anything different? And I'm like, how is it that other people just, oh, I'm up and leaving, and they'll get a job right away and they'll walk off. And I just seen like a lot of people who have left. I lost a lot of good friends. I get really close to people I work with, because you work with them every day. You see them more sometimes than you see your own family and your friends. So you get cool with them. And then we had like a little lunch crew and everything. It's like now that all that lunch crew is gone. Every single last person from their original lunch crew, they all left. And it's like they all left and went well, and got a lot of the girls got all went into new careers, got married, and even the guys. And it just seemed like they're just making more money, doing well, just seeming extra more happy. I mean, of course, they all say in their new roles they're doing much more work, and you have your perks, but they was just like they was just doing well. And I just felt like I've been stagnant. I just felt like, okay, I want my new beginning, and I just thought this would be the new step for me. So with that in mind, everybody's telling me, don't give up, Lisa, keep going, keep praying, keep believing, keep applying. I mean, I have still been applying, but not, I slowed down because we got extremely busy. First week of school, I'm teaching 2 classes, y'all. So it's like, and I'm trying to get my referee stuff started up and going. So it's just so much stuff I'm doing right now and trying to balance this YouTube world. So it's just like, yeah. So I have not lost the faith. I'm still going to continue to apply, work hard at where I'm currently at, and just trust God, because something's got to give. I really do believe something's got to give, and something's just got to give. I just like, God, what is my something? What is it? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to do? You kept me here. What is this going on? What is really going on? So I'm just, everybody's telling me, Lisa, just be blessed. You still got a job, which is true. I mean, some things going on that I'm not liking on a job, true, because we're facing financial difficulties. We have took salary cuts, and it's just like, it's less salary, but more work. And I mean, that's pretty much the gist of a lot of people in their jobs these days, but it's just like, I don't know. So I'm just at this place like, God, what do you want me to do? I just like, change my mind, change my heart. What is it that you want me to do? Where do I supposed to be? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Why are you withholding everything? That's why I feel like feel like I'm on punishment, and I feel like I'm being withheld. And they was like, well, God don't do that. He's just storing things up for you and all this good stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at. In terms of other things, let's see here. Just looking on my letter here. In terms of health and well-being, one thing I did start doing more this year, I did start doing more morning workouts, like getting up, working out at 6 in the morning, kind of got in a routine with it. Haven't been doing that lately, but I'm in a routine now that if I necessarily have to get up and work out in the morning, I can. I've been doing much better with my 5Ks to the point that I'm not walking in 5Ks anymore. I'm actually, running throughout the time. Maybe not the fastest time, but maintain a steady, going and maintaining and finishing the whole race without walking. So I did notice that has been a change in my health. I do need better sleeping habits. I still need to work on that. In terms of my family and friends and soror relationship, the family is good. still strong, still keeping it together. I'm still tight with my sorors. I think we all at a point now that we might be, I don't know if we tire each other, or I just feel like we haven't been hanging out as much as we have done in the past. But life, you change life changes, things, situations changes, and you go into a different direction. So I think we all have this desire to want to be with a mate. We got things going on with our jobs. So, it takes you away. I think I pulled back on some of my Greek activities just because I wanted a different experience and wanted to experience some different things. So it all leads me up to here. So where am I at now? Still at my current job. No potential prospects for mates. But I'm really just at that point. I'm just trying to see what God has for me. What do He want me to do? And I'm like, I'm here, God. Show me, place me where you need me to be. I'm here. So that's where we at. Like I said, it is September. I'm marking this is what, September 8th. So like I said, we still got a few months left. I am planning to do like an end of the year result of the Burning Bowl. Just trusting God. I just been finding myself in moments just trying to focus and see where I'm at with things, hoping, praying God show me something different and do something new. So that is it. That is all. Stay tuned for more videos. I hope I got to answer your questions. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned. We have the Insecure season finale that's coming on. So yeah, I'll have an update for that. Peace.